All right, guys, tonight we're going to get into your NFL Week 17 power rankings as well as predictions. Before we get started, make sure you smash that thumbs up. It is much, much appreciated. And, of course, if you are new here, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to be notified of all future NFL content, streams, news, and more. Got some quick updates. We're going to try to breeze through this. Might not take too long. I don't know. We'll probably try to get it done in about 45 minutes, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. With that said, we're going to go ahead and start off with the power rankings. Some people are going to be mad. Some people are going to be upset. There's been some wild stuff going on with these power rankings. So, shout out to all the watchers. Shout out to the Wrench Gang. Shout out to the family. Much love to all you guys. I hope each and every one of you had a good Christmas. And I hope everyone that's been dealing with the weather has been safe as well. All right. We're going to get right into it. Coming in at number 15, New York Jets. It's going to state that Zach Wilson had the chance to silence doubters with a strong showing in his prime time game against the Jaguars. Instead, he authored a performance that could seal his fate with the organization. So, this goes back to what I was saying before. Zach Wilson is not ready. He was not ready. He was underdeveloped, very arrogant. It's not to say he couldn't become a good quarterback, but he just wasn't ready. Sometimes you're given the job and you're not ready. It's just a reality of it. Jets go down to number 15. Moving to number 14. It's going to be the Giants. It says getting beat on a 61-yard field goal at the gun is a helpless way to go out, but Brian Dable's team could have triumphed at U.S. Bank Stadium with better execution in the final quarter. A dropped interception, a pick from Daniel Jones, and a block punt all came back to haunt the Giants in a 24-27 loss to the Vikings. Kirk Cousins is starting to become a name, right? It's always these games where you're like, oh, yeah, this thing's over. And he's found a way to win. Now, granted, these teams are, I want to say, a little less fortunate in their defense, right? But the reality is he's been finding a way to come back and win these games. We'll have to see how that works for him in the playoffs and, or the next week and obviously the playoffs. So, Giants 14. Number 13, Miami Dolphins. So Tua is out, concussion protocol. It really pains me to say this, but I was saying this earlier in the season. I think Tua needs to retire. I think he needs to retire. The injuries that he's been having, dealing with concussions, I think those outweigh the pros to him staying in the game. I think he needs to look after his health, look after his family, and consider options that doesn't involve him playing the game. Dolphins move to 13. Shout out to Vicky Perez. Says, Jerry reason I got the championship in my fantasy league. Shout out to you, Vicky. Congrats. And good luck. Good luck. Jacob, yeah, streaming the Steelers Ravens, yeah. Fins down, yep. Brian Willing, yep, and his college career. Yeah, he was always hurt in college. That was a big thing. It really makes me question the recruiting process, right? You have someone that is very injury prone, yet you still decide to bring him into the NFL, draft him, and now you're dealing with these situations. It's really interesting. What up, Timo? Robert Miller says Cousins is a good quarterback. He gets unwarranted hate. KOC had been good for Cousins this year. Hummus Hero says, I agree, Tua needs to hang it up. One more of these concussions could seriously impair his long-term brain function. Exactly. That's just the reality of it. You know, you have to look at your health above and beyond. And that's not even just in the NFL. That goes for anything. You know, if you're working a job that's mentally tolling, you know, check out. Go get your health checked. Make sure it makes sense, man. The job is not worth more than your health. And I'm just gonna leave that there. All right. Number 12, Green Bay Packers. They go up 5 spots. So the Packers aren't going away. Green Bay went to Miami and kept its playoff hopes intact with a 26-20 win, powered by a defense that stepped up in crunch time. Jair Alexander, Devondre Campbell, and Rasul Douglas all had interceptions in successive Miami possessions in the fourth quarter, which brings me back to Tua. Tua was not playing like himself. So I'm starting to wonder if something's going on there because he wasn't having the accuracy that he normally has. He wasn't throwing the deep ball like he was. Yes, he made some plays, but he wasn't the same Tua that we seen when he was healthy. So it makes us wonder what's going on even before him being in concussion protocol. All right, Green Bay moves to 12. Detroit Lions go to number 11. Baltimore Ravens go to number 10. And these Jacksonville Jaguars go to number 9. So, with the Jags going to number 9 and them basically having a run at the playoffs, I feel like Trevor Lawrence is coming into his own. I feel like he's having his I'm not going to say he's there, but I'll say he's having a Joe Burrow moment. Right? He's having that Joe Burrow moment. He's coming into his own. He's finding some poise. He's basically finding himself as the quarterback for the franchise. I like what I'm seeing. He's finding a way to win. That comeback victory is still in my mind when they beat the Titans. So I definitely got respect for what Trevor Lawrence is doing and the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right. Next up, number 8, Chargers. Justin Herbert, he's balling. Got respect for Justin. He's doing his thing. Number 7, Minnesota Vikings. Where is this list going? Vikings, number 7. Dallas Cowboys, number 6. They're 11-4. Says the Cowboys fell behind by double digits early on Saturday against the Eagles, but a relentless offense and opportunistic defense ensured the fight for the NFC East will continue for at least one more week. Dak Prescott shook off a first-quarter pick-6 to put up a stellar performance, 3 touchdown passes, and 9.9 yards per attempt. And CeeDee Lamb delivered a true number 1 wide receiver effort with 10 catches for 120 yards and 10 scores. I called it. I said that the Cowboys would take this game if Jalen didn't play. And I'm not going to change the narrative to that tune, but I will say that even if Jalen was in this game, Eagles would have still lost. And I'm willing to stand on that hill. All right. Number 5. Kansas City Chiefs. You know, they're just coasting along. They're not as talked about this year, right? I feel like for the last 3 years, 4 years, Kansas City has been that team like everybody's talked about every week. Kansas City Chiefs. The talk has kind of slowed down this year. Something to pay attention to. I think their defense is lacking. I'm not going to count what they did against the Seahawks as a true showing because the Broncos put up 28 points on the Chiefs' defense. So I'm going to have to really see them go up against another contending team that can get the job done. All right. Number 4, Cincinnati Bengals. Says a very strange Christmas Eve for the Bengals who dominated in an overmatched Patriots team in the first half that needed a New England red zone fumble in the final minute to escape with a 22-18 win at Foxborough. Cincinnati safety Von Bell forced a Ramondre Stevenson fumble that sealed the victory, which keeps the Bengals in the hunt for the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs. Now, there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk about these Bengals, and that's fine. That's fine. I really wish it was Sunday night. I really do. Obviously, I enjoy all the time that is given to me on this earth. But I really do wish it was Sunday night so I could be looking forward to waking up tomorrow morning and we're having Monday Night Football because I cannot wait for this game between these Bengals and these Bills. I am sick and tired of all the conversations, all the hate, even the other YouTubers out there dogging the Bills and upping these Bengals. It's all right. Bengals coming in at number 4. All right. Number 3. Bills Mafia. 12-3. Says the Bills won in the trenches at frigid Soldier Field to clinch another AFC East title. Devin Singletary and James Cook combined for 205 rushing yards and 2 scores, while the Buffalo defense clamped down on Justin Fields, holding the 1,000-yard rushing quarterback to just 11 yards on the ground. The Bills coasted to the win in the second half, but keep an eye on Josh Allen's propensity for making dangerous throws. Isn't that what Allen does? Dangerous throws, but with accuracy. You hold your breath, and then somebody catches it. The star quarterback threw 2 interceptions on Saturday and could have at least 2 others, and the Chicago defense have been more opportunistic. It's an area of Allen's game that needs to be cleaned up ahead of playoff football. We know this. I've been saying this for weeks. Allen needs to work on that accuracy. He needs to get back focused. I don't like the changes that Ken Dorsey has made in the playbook. And there was a big story about how Stephon Diggs hasn't been getting as many targets since Ken Dorsey decided to make those changes. So it goes back to my theory that the old playbook, essentially, or the old offensive scheme that the Bills have been using should have probably stayed the same and just incorporated Hines into that. Because now we're not seeing as many Stephon Diggs passes or targets that we used to. So that needs to change going into the playoffs. All right. Number 2. Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, after that loss, they're going to drop down. Record of 13-2, which is really interesting. It's really interesting. Number 1, guys. Number 1. The rookie, Mr. Irrelevant. Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers. And this goes back to my prediction. Bills and 49ers in the Super Bowl. This is my prediction. And I know a lot of people are going to say the 49ers aren't that good. Why are they number 1? This is so ridiculous. You got to look at the overall trajectory at the beginning of the season. Go back and look at what happened from week 1 to week 4, and then week 4 to week 8, and then week 8 to now. Go look at that. And then you'll see why. Through adversity, through problems, through new acquisitions, the 49ers have found a way to still win and succeed, offensively and defensively. Hard, gridiron, tough football. And you got a rookie in there who actually looks like he knows what he's doing. I would say so better than Mac Jones, better than Zach Wilson, better than Trevor Lawrence. So it is really interesting to see it, and we obviously, if you're not a fan of the 49ers, you probably don't want to see it. But the reality is it's actually pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate at this point. I think the top 3 is right. I think it's right. That is power rankings for week 17, guys. All right. Shout out to Robert says anybody is better than Zach Wilson. Bob Evans says they will get upset Sunday. George says 49ers suck. My goodness. Niners are a flash in the pan team. All right, well, you know, it's all good fun and all in opinions, you know. Shout out to Matty Ice. All right, let's go ahead and get into these week 17 predictions, guys. Let's get into these week 17 predictions. Move this on over here. Move me over here, and here we go. All right. Thursday night football, guys. I obviously will be streaming. This will be the last Thursday night football, so make sure you lock it in. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. I will be streaming Thursday night football tomorrow. And we're going to start it off with your Dallas Cowboys, Tennessee Titans. Matchup predictor, 88.2% for the Cowboys, 11.7% for the Titans. And we're just going to get right into the spread. 12 points for the Cowboys, minus 650 on the money line. 39.5 is the over and under. 460, plus 460 for those Titans. For my bettors out there, but this is going to be a Cowboys victory. This will be a Cowboys victory. This is pretty easy. Titans are only scoring or averaging 17.9 points per game. They're allowing 20.8. So, I mean, that says it, you know, in itself. Yards allowed, 376. They're getting crushed on the pass game. Although they're doing a lot better on the running, with the running defense. So they may be able to stop the run, but they're gonna have a tough time on the passing. So I'm going Cowboys. I will take them by the spread. All right, next up, we've got the Cardinals and the Falcons. Cardinals to me are just a lost cause at this point. Issues at quarterback. All this talent that's not being utilized. There needs to be some changes for the coaching. There needs to be some changes for the coaching, without a doubt. Records 4-11 for the Cardinals, 5-10 for the Falcons, 24.5% for the Cardinals, 75.2% for the Falcons. Getting straight into the odds. Falcons are favored by 3.5. Minus 190 on the money line. 42 is the over and under. So Vegas is saying that it's going to be a lot of scoring in this game, which is really interesting. But I have this weird feeling, though, that Cardinals might win. I do. Averaging 20.5 points per game versus Falcons 21. The Falcons are allowing 23.3. They're also allowing more yards on the passing and the running side. So, Falcons defense is terrible, and that may give the Cardinals a chance if they can figure out this quarterback situation. So, I think I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going to go Cardinals by a field goal. All right. Next up, Bears and the Lions. Now, this one is really interesting. Bears are 3-12. Lions are 7-8. Matchup predicted 29.9% for the Bears, 69.7% for the Lions. Justin Fields, 2,167 yards, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Jared Goff, 3,959 yards, 26 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Fields on the rushing side is 1,011 yards, 8 touchdowns as well. Williams with 850 yards, 14 touchdowns. Getting into the spread, Lions are favored by 6, minus 267 on the money line. Over and under is 52. What? Okay. I guess all this offense is just going to come like out of nowhere on both sides. Both are allowing 26.2 or 26 points average on average. So I guess it would make sense because both defenses are terrible and they're just going to run up the score on each other. But I got to go with Jared Goff on this one. I'm going to go ahead and take Mr. Goff. I think they win at home. Do you think Tony Pollard and Derrick Henry will play? Yeah, they should. Why not? Eric says I'm going with the Bears. All right. So, yeah, I'm going with the Lions. I'll take them by a touchdown. Next up is going to be Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. This is easy for me. This is going to be an easy one. I'm going to go Jaguars right off the bat. I have no faith in the Texans. Davis Mills turned out to be a bust to me. I think I've got some cards laying around that I need to get rid of his, and I'm glad I got rid of the few that I did at his peak when he was doing okay and made a little change off of him, but the rest, they got to go. I'm not a believer. I'm not holding on to his stuff anymore. So if there's any Davis Mills fans out there, hit me up. I got some cards you may be interested in. All right, 67% for the Jaguars, 32.7% for the Texans. Trevor Lawrence with 3,749 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Davis Mills, 2,618 yards, 14 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. This man is almost even with the amount of touchdowns and interceptions that he has. All right, going down to the spread. Jacksonville's favored by 4.5. Minus 220 on the money line. Over and under is 43.5. And I'm going Jaguars. I think this will be a blowout. Robert Miller says, even though I'm not a Lions fan, I would like to see them make a run in the playoffs. I'd like to see Jared Goff get there. I would. I think people kind of like push him to the side. They dissed him, hated on him. It'd be nice to see him at least make a little run, show that he's got it, and that he's he's here to make a change in Detroit. So, but yeah, with this one, I'm gonna go Jaguars. All right, next up. We got these Broncos in Kansas City. Broncos are 4-11. Kansas City's 12-3. Now, obviously, everyone's going to say Kansas City. But we cannot forget that this is the same Broncos team that almost came back. And if they would have never had those 2 turnovers, they would have won this game. Or they would have won that game. I apologize. They would have won that game. So, when I see numbers like 90.2% on the matchup predictor, when Kansas City is guaranteed to win, I think to myself, could we have another one of those games where the Broncos keep it close by some weird chance, and this would be the trap game and the upset of the week to happen on January 1, just to ruin somebody's New Year's? Who knows? Getting into the spread. If KC was so dominant, don't we think this would be a little bit higher? That minus 12.5? Over and under is 45. Why wouldn't this be over 50? It's kind of interesting. They are scoring 29.2 on average, but they're also allowing 22.1. Not doing too good on the passing yards and rushing yards allowed as well. So, KC's having some defensive issues. Obviously, we're going to take them because it's the Chiefs against the Broncos. It's just the reality of it. But I will pay attention to this game. And that plus 550. Y'all know me. Early cash out. Just put some on those Broncos. Hope they score first and get it out of there. Take Kansas City by the points. All right, next up. Miami and New England. Tua is out. This is another game where I'm just not comfortable betting my money, at least. But prediction-wise, obviously the matchup predicted will be at 39.3% on Miami, 60.2% for New England. New England's at home. Tua's going to be out. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, Bridgewater's going to start. So that is confirmed. I don't know how I feel about Bridgewater, especially in Foxborough. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go Patriots. Yeah, I'm gonna go Patriots on this one. Spread is 3. I'll take the Patriots at home by a touchdown. All right, next up, Indianapolis Colts. New York Giants. This should be a fun one. 21.7% for the Colts. 78% for the Giants. And the Giants are favored by 6 points, minus 250 on a money line. Over and under is 38.5. Yeah, I think this... I hate writing off the Colts. Not just because of Luta, but because I just feel like they get in these games just like the Vikings game, right? They get in these games where they show themselves, and it's like, okay, they do actually play in the NFL. They get in these games, and I just feel like they have the ability to win, but they just haven't found the right person to get the job done. They've got the team, right? They've got the run game. They got an okay defense. They just need a quarterback to get the job done. So, even with all that, I mean, this is going to be a Giants victory. Daniel Jones is hanging on by a thread for his job, so expect him to try and keep it for as long as he can. All right, next up, New Orleans Saints, Philadelphia Eagles. And is Hurts back for this? Let's confirm. Hurts on hold. Eagles hope he can return. So he's aiming to play in Week 17 against the Saints. So I guess he's day-to-day right now. He's day-to-day. Even with him being out in this one, if Gardner even plays, I'm going to go ahead and still take the Eagles, whether Gardner or Jalen plays. Saints are kind of in this situation where they need to rebuild too. There's a lot going on. Michael Thomas just needs to go ahead and retire. Right now he's just wasting cap space and a seat on the bench. I want to see you play, Michael Thomas. You've been riding on that bench for years. collecting that check. I respect the hustle, but, man, you got to play the game. I'm going to go Eagles. Let's look at the spread. Eagles by 6. It's really interesting, but all right. Minus 285 on the money line. Over and under is 44. Go with the Eagles on this one. All right, next up, Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 50.1% for the Panthers. Wow. 49.9% for the Buccaneers. And what do we got? Brady has 4,178 yards, 21 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Buccaneers favored by 3. Minus 165 on the money line. 40.5 is the over-under. Let's see. So the Panthers beat Detroit, lost to the Steelers, beat the Seahawks, beat Denver, lost to Baltimore. Tampa Bay beat Arizona in overtime. Comeback kid. Lost to Cincinnati. Lost to San Francisco. Won against New Orleans. And lost to the Browns. Tom Brady's just all over the place. Even still, I'm going to go ahead and go with Tampa Bay. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Tom Brady in these close games have been finding a way to win. I don't think this will be a close one. I think Tom comes out swinging. So I'm taking Tampa Bay in that one. Next up is going to be the Browns and the Commanders. Are we riding the Heineke train? Are we riding that train? Do we respect Heineke's game? %46.7% for the Browns, 52.7% for the Commanders. Getting into the spread, Commanders are favored by 2 points. Minus 125 on the money line. Over and under is 40.5. I'm waiting for, I'll be honest with you, before I do like my deep dive into the Browns and really start looking into figures and stats and all that kind of stuff, I'm really waiting for Deshaun to have that breakout game. I feel like he hasn't had it yet. With him coming back, he's still getting acclimated, obviously, with the team, building on that chemistry. But I feel like he hasn't had that breakout game yet to really gauge if he's going to be effective long-term for all the money he's been paid. Could this be that game? With Nick Chubb and let's see who's injured. Clowney's still questionable. Amari Cooper still questionable. I'm going to go with the Browns. All right. Next up, San Francisco 49ers and these Las Vegas Raiders. So, I got a question. What is it going to take? Because I've had this conversation with friends of mine and other people that I have conversations with about sports, and we go back and forth. What is it going to take for people to acknowledge the 49ers right now? What is it going to take for people to acknowledge the 49ers? Is it for them to get to the Super Bowl and then they say, oh, wow, they deserve to be here? Or are people actually paying attention right now? Because I feel like a lot of people don't believe in Brock Purdy and this offense at all. Boston Silver Holmes has no faith in Vegas. Yeah, I've got the 49ers in this. This is automatic. 56.2%. Even with the Raiders being at home, Derek Carr's not he's been benched. Derek Carr's been benched. Jarrett Stidham will be in. This game is over. This is an easy victory for the 49ers. You're putting in Jarrett Stidham against the 49ers? That makes no sense. Good job, Raiders. Good job. Getting into the spread. -10 for the 49ers. Over and under is 41.5. Yeah, we can already see where this one is going. 49ers are averaging 25 points per game, and they are allowing 15.3. That is defense. That is defense. They are allowing 15 points and putting up 25. This is your Super Bowl contenders, guys. These are the numbers that you need to get to the Super Bowl and potentially win it. What's up, Noah? Yeah, Carr's just been doing terrible. So they're gonna go ahead and give the kid a shot. Jarrett Stidham. So yeah, I'm going 49ers on that one. Next up, got your Jets and the Seahawks. Mike White will be back. Last I heard, Mike White will be back. 38.8% for the Jets, 60.7% for the Seahawks. Both have a record of 7-8. Spread is going to be 1.5 in favor of the Jets, -120 in the money line, 42.5. I'm going to give Mike White the benefit of the doubt. Benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say he comes back. He balls out. I'm going to take the Jets. So, yeah. Boston Silverhome says Seattle by 8,000. What's up, KT? George says Seahawks. Luta says Seahawks. Two bad teams playing here. Yeah. Don't underestimate Mike White. Remember, he's got something to prove. It should be a fun game in Seattle. All right, here we go. This is a game I'm actually excited for. Just one of the games I'm very excited for. This Vikings and Green Bay Packers. 41.9% for the Vikings. 57.6% for the Packers. And you know what? Just because because I'm looking at the camera now. Because a certain somebody decided to go against my Bills and say whatever they had to say and all that. I'm going to go against your Packers, and I think the Vikings are going to take the victory. Because I want to see your face when the Vikings win. All right. Kirk Cousins with 4,117 yards, 27 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. 3,331 yards for Aaron Rodgers, 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Look at that. Cousins has more yards, but not the same, but three more touchdowns. Dalvin Cook, 1,109 yards, 8 touchdowns. Aaron Jones, 962 yards, 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, 1,756 yards, 8 touchdowns. Allen Lazard, 688 yards, 5 touchdowns. I feel like the Vikings just have more talent in this. They have more talent than these Packers. They will be playing with those or at Green Bay. So it could get interesting. Green Bay is favored by 3.5, -190 on the money line. 48 is the over and under, plus 158 on the money line. Yeah, the Vikings just have more talent. The only thing that's going to be questionable is the defense, right? Because the points per game is there. 25.2 for the Vikings, 20.9 for the Packers. but their defense is terrible. They're allowing 24.9 on average, while Green Bay is only allowing 22.3. So, if the Vikings can find a way to get that pass rush going on Aaron Rodgers, the Vikings will win this game. But they got to step it up. They got to step it on. They have to step it up on defense. They have to step it up on defense because the offense is there. The defense is what's lacking. I'm going to go Vikings by a touchdown. What's up, Tina? Christopher, yeah, it's definitely going to be a good game, without a doubt. I'm going Vikings against these Packers. All right, next up. Los Angeles Rams versus the Los Angeles Chargers. 24.5% for the Rams, 75.3% for the Chargers. I feel like this number is complete disrespect to Baker and company right now. I think it should be a little bit more closer than this. But Justin Herbert has been balling. I'll give him that. With 4,254 yards, 21 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Getting into the spread, Chargers are favored by 6.5, minus 285 on the money line. 41 is the over and under. Can Baker keep up the magic? That is the question. Can Baker keep up the magic? Can Cam Akers keep that running game going? Cooper Kupp's still out for the year, right? Is he out for the year? Yeah, he's gone for a while. He had that surgery on his ankle back in November. It's not to say that Baker can't do it without him because he has. I think this is going to be another good one. I'd probably leave this one off the parlay, though. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Chargers. I'm going to take the Chargers on this one by the points. KT, it was pretty good. How about you? How was your Christmas? What's up, Ethan? Come on. Chargers 21-20. Says it's going to be a 1-point game? Okay. All right. I'm going Chargers by a touchdown. Next up, Steelers and the Ravens. This is another good one. There's a lot of good games. It's going to be Sunday Night Football. Obviously, I will be streaming this one, Sunday Night Football. Steelers and Ravens, 38.1% for the Steelers, 61.4% for the Ravens. As for the spread, Ravens only favored by 2.5. Over and under is 35, so they're saying this is going to be a defensive battle. Steelers are averaging 17.6, Ravens 21.4. So I really like Kenny Pickett. I don't know about this game, though. I don't know if Kenny can maneuver through that defense on the Ravens side. Because the Ravens are only allowing 18 points. And Kenny's been having a tough time scoring. I'm going to have to go with the Ravens. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Ravens. Block, yeah, I got the Cowboys tomorrow. Yeah, I got the Cowboys tomorrow. Yes, sir. All right. Last but not least, The grand finale. This is probably going to be one of the most, well, not the most, but one of the most watched Monday Night Football games this year. These Bills, my Bills Mafia, and these Cincinnati Bengals. I've been hearing about this for the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks. All the hate, all the trash talk, all the Joe Burrow's going to do this, all the Jamar Chase is going to do that. Let me tell you something. We're going to go into Cincinnati and win that game. And it might even be a blowout. It might even be a blowout. Flip a coin. Got these non-believers in the house. Joe Burrow's an absolute juggernaut. Y'all were just dogging Burrow at the beginning of the season because his offensive line was trash. So 2 or 3 weeks go by and now he's back to being a juggernaut? My goodness. Unbelievable. Jay never forgets. Timo says, hot takes. Hot takes. Rodney, oh yeah, Hoodie J Monday. The hoodie will be on at the start of the game on Monday. Bills Mafia, we showing out. Hoodie J will have the hoodie on at the start of the game. He will be ready to go for Monday Night Football. Bengals running away? You mean after they lose, right? What's up, Josh? Vikings, Green Bay. I took the Vikings. I took the Vikings, my friend. Ethan says Bills have 6 in a row. They about to have 7. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. RA, 49ers or Raiders? I took the 49ers. Fortnite lover, what's your predicts for Monday night? The Bills Mafia, man. You see the hat? You see the hat? I gotta keep my head down so you can see the logo. There it is. On News says Hoodie J will be needed. Hoodie J won't be needed. He's just gonna appear to support. He won't be needed, but he's gonna be there to support from the start. From the start. Oh, prediction for the score? I'm going to be realistic. I'll go 35-14. Bills, 35-14. I give Joe Burrow 2 touchdowns. What if it's a tie Monday? Let's get to it. Let's see what they're saying. 54.7% for the Bills Mafia. 44.7% for the Bengals. Seems like I've been hearing... I don't feel like I've been hearing 44.7% noise for the last 2 weeks. I feel like I've been hearing like 70% Bengals talk in my head for the last 2 weeks. But America's saying 54.7% for the Bills. Josh Allen, 4,029 yards, 32 touchdowns, 13 receptions. Burrow, 4,260 yards, 34 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Devin Singletary, 790 yards, 5 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, 787 yards, 6 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs, 1,325 yards, 10 touchdowns. Higgins with 1,022 yards, 7 touchdowns. As far as injury, Boogie Basham, Mitch Morse questionable. For the Bengals, Lyle Collins, Jalen Davis, Sam Hubbard, Hayden Hurst, questionable or out. Bills favored by 1 point. Bills are favored by 1 point. Over and under is 49 and a half. 49 and a half. And you know what? I gotta do it one time. I gotta do it one time for the haters. Just one time. Just one time. Had to do it one time for the haters. We're going to have some fun for that game. Without a doubt. Definitely going to have some fun for that game. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all the trash talk. Looking forward to all the hype for Monday Night Football. Rodney says revenge for Josh. Listen, y'all don't that game, like I said, I can't wait. That Monday Night Football game is going to be absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. All you had to do was follow the train. We need you for Brady Magic, by the way. We'll see. I called it last time. Listen, people were so mad at me for Tom Brady coming back and winning. Listen, I know I'm speaking to I'm not speaking to all of you. I know I'm speaking to some of you. Y'all got to stop getting mad at me for calling out these situations when they happen. I'm going to need you to just embrace it and put the money up. I'm trying to help y'all get money. I'm trying to help people that follow me get money. Right? I'm not trying to cost y'all money. I'm trying to help y'all get money. I'm not saying you need to go out and do it. But what I'm saying is, if I throw out the number and I say it look good, there's certain people that are making a lot of money because I'm saying it. You could be one of them. That's all I'm saying. So don't get mad at me. Just join the bandwagon for the moment. That's all. Because it gets to a point in some of these games where you can tell. It becomes predictable. I mean, I'm not going to say what John Cena said where he said sports were rigs, but I'm going to say some of the stuff becomes predictable. That's all. Shout out to Timo. Oh, yeah, they were going ham. They're like, oh, he's a Brady fan. I'm like, yo, my hat's right here. The hat's right here. Go watch the other streams. The next game, they're like, oh, he's a Baker fan. Wow. He's a Rams fan. I'm like, okay, I guess that makes me a fan of every team because I just predict. And then stuff just seems to happen. It's really interesting. Shout out to Gene. He's a money fan. Oh, shout out to Gene. My goodness. I know Brady has like 7 rings. This ain't the first time. Tom's been doing this for a long time. I mean, listen. It goes without saying that if you go look at some of these games where a team could be getting completely blown out, okay? If you know how to look at the odds, you know if a team is up by like 30 points or something like that, let's say like it's 30-3, right? We'll use the Vikings and the Colts for reference, okay? The odds that the Vikings would win that game when they were down by 30 was plus 340 at one point. It fluctuated a little bit, but when I seen it, it was at 340. Now, for a team that was going to lose that game, those odds would have easily been over 1,000. Easily. I see it all the time. Whenever the odds are over 1,000, the team 99% of the time, the team loses. Whenever those odds are over 1,000. But when those odds are between 100 to 500, miraculously, the team just comes back and takes the victory. Pay attention to it. That's all. I'm not saying to go out there and bet your hard-earned money. I'm telling you to gamble responsibly. Never put up the house. Don't use the kids' college fund. Gamble responsibly. But go look at the numbers. Go look it up. It's really interesting. Shout out to Fortnite. Without a doubt. Ethan says, Jay, I got homework. I got a homework pass in school. What? What you mean? You passed your homework? If you did, if that's what you meant, good job. Shout out to you. Oh, you did good in school? Okay, cool. Shout out to you. Keep going. Congratulations. Don't stop. Keep going. Stay out of trouble. And become great. Oh, no, you're giving the game away? I'm supposed to give the game to my people. Right? And I'm not charging a fee. I'm giving the game to my people, and I'm not charging a fee. All these other dudes, they want you to join whatever, and they got the Facebook groups, and they got the Discords, and they got all that, and they're like, hey, pay us a fee, and that's fine. That's their business model. But when you come over here and you rocking with Jay and you a subscriber to the channel, I'm going to give you good content. I'm going to give you good information, and I want to see everybody win, because guess what? I'm not worried about the money. The money going to come. I'm not worried about the money, because I know if I'm helping people get the right information, they're going to look out for me in the long run regardless. That's what it's all about. Rabbit Seeker says, I had to change my name. My old name sounded too weird. Oh, man. School pass and gambling. Jay Luta has the table set up for us to put the Bengals through. I'm ready. Ethan says, Jay, to be honest, in the class clown. Well, as long as you get your work done. As long as you get your work done and do what you're supposed to do, you can be the, as long as you're respectfully the class clown. You got to be the class clown respectfully. Crazy mover Jay. A hit of what? You mean like a parlay, yo? Say it with your chest. All right, y'all. This was fun as usual. Week 17 power rankings as well as predictions. I am looking forward to tomorrow. We will be doing Thursday Night Football. I'll put up the stream obviously later. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Shout out to you, Philip. Happy face. You guys want a parlay? All right, we'll go. All right, we'll do a parlay. Give you a quick parlay. What are we gonna do? FanDuel. I would do FanDuel. Give you a quick parlay. We'll do a quick four leg. Before we get up out of here. NFL. Which game? Which game you want to do it for? You want to do it for tomorrow, Dallas and Tennessee, or do you want to do it for the Bills and the Bengals? Which one? Bills and Bengals. I'm not doing both. I'll give you one. I got to get going. I'm over my hour mark. All right, we'll do Bills and Bengals. Bills and Bengals. I'm like way ahead of myself here. Hold on. Here we go. Bills and Bengals. All right. So we got the Bills, Bengals, straight up money line. I want to go to. Here we go. Here we go. Do they not have? Do they not have it up yet? Hold on. They don't have the props up? Wait a minute. Why don't they have the props up? Oh, no momento. All right, they don't have the props up, so we're going to have to do this a different way. Okay. Obviously, I'm going Bills money line. First drive result, offensive touchdown, field goal attempt, any other. I'm pretty sure the first score is going to be a touchdown. So that'll be plus 280. Is that? No, that's not. That's not going to work. That will not work. But if you were to do that, it'd be plus 280. First offensive or first play, first score, offensive touchdown is plus 280. So let me get to. Yeah, see, I don't like how they do this. They don't drop the score props and the yards and everything like that until we get close to the game. So let me do this. And then we'll just have to do the Bills another time. All right, here we go. So Cowboys is minus 670 in the money line, so it wouldn't make sense to go there. So we're going to take the Cowboys by the spread, minus 110. Any touchdown score, I'm going to go Ezekiel Elliott, minus 175. Right, he should get a touchdown. Let's see here. Passing yards. I'm going to put Dak. Let me look at Dak's stats. So, Dak. Prescott's stats. So he did 347 against the Eagles, 256 against the Jaguars, 284 against the Texans, 170 against the Colts, 261 against the Giants, 276 against the Vikings. So, yeah, I'm comfortable with this over 236 for Dak. And then on the receiving, let's see what Gallup's been doing. $36 yards against the Eagles, 2 yards against the Jaguars, 40 against the Texans, 23 against the Colts, 63 against the Giants, 41 against the Vikings, 35 against the Packers, 49 against the Bears. Yeah, I'm fine with this one too. I'll take Gallup over 31.5. So, 4-leg parlay, Dallas by 12.5. Elliott, anytime touchdown score. Prescott, over 236.5. Gallup over 31.5. $100 wager will get you 653.23. Always remember to bet responsibly. I'm obviously giving my opinion. I am not responsible if you do lose. Bet at your own risk. I have to drop that disclaimer. So there it is. Yeah, 4-leg parlay. Dallas Cowboys minus 12.5. Ezekiel Elliott anytime touchdown score. Dak Prescott over 236 and Michael Gallup over 31.5. $100 will get you 653.23. Obviously, if you want to keep it on the short side, you don't want to go too crazy, you can do $25, and that'll get you $163.31 if you want to be a safe better. So there it is, guys. All right. With that said, shout out to all you guys. I will see you tomorrow for Thursday Night Football, Dallas Cowboys, Tennessee Titans. Shout out to the Wrench Gang. Shout out to the family, all the watchers. I will see you guys tomorrow. Everyone, have a good night.